sweet friends. Back to school season is starting and we are getting ready for the new year. And as we wind closer to the end of summer and to the beginning of the school year, I have sat down and put together what I consider to be basic first day of school things. This is going to be my 4th year teaching. This year I'm teaching 3rd grade ELA. I've been teaching 3rd grade math for the last 3 years, so I'm very excited to make the switch. And if you're like me, it's really, really difficult as a first day of school, no matter what year I've gone into. I've had a really hard time of wrapping my head around what to do on the first day of school. And so this is not a finished product. This is not finished in any way, but these are the basic outlines of what I do in a typical day. We do switch between classes, but I prefer to keep my homeroom only on the first day of school, just so I can get them into procedures. I can make sure I know how they're getting home and all the other things. So, of course, the first thing that they see when they come is the first day, good morning, hello, welcome. On their desks will be their bell ringer paper. I also will have their student gifts. I know some people hand out their student gifts on Meet the Teacher night, but what I've learned through my last 3 years is our school, a lot of the students don't come on Meet the Teacher night. They only come on the first day of school. And so it's just easier to keep track of who got the student gift when it is given on the first day of school. So they come in and they see the first day of school. Before they even come into the classroom, I have on my wall, which I'll do a full classroom tour when I get it set up, is like my greetings for them and like how we greet each other and we say good morning. And I'll also direct them to their cubbies. They do have assigned cubbies, and I'm using tables this year instead of desks, so that'll be really interesting to see how that works. But once they come in, they find where they want to sit, because they do get to choose where they want to sit on the first day, and I tell them that that's going to be their table for the first 6 weeks. They get to choose where they want to sit for the first 6 weeks, and it just helps me and it helps them get acclimated to the classroom. So the first thing that we talk about is they'll come in, they'll put their stuff down, and we talk about entering the classroom. So how am I supposed to enter the room? We enter the room calmly. This is a very big thing, and this year I want to make sure that I absolutely drill and nail this, that you come into the room calm and quiet and ready to go. We are setting the tone for the day. You hang your backpack on the hook, and I have my personal teacher backpack that I will demonstrate how to do all these things. So I'll enter the room, I'll hang our backpacks onto the hook, we unzip our backpack and we take out whatever we need, and then we zip our backpack back up. Everything in our cubby should be inside of our backpack, except maybe our lunchbox. But we should not have loose paper, we shouldn't have trash, headphones, nothing. Everything goes back into my backpack. So then I'll zip my backpack up. I take my stuff to my desk or our table spot. I still call them desks, and write in our planners. So I'm not 1,000% sure we'll have them on the first day of school, but if we do, we will write in our planner. If not, I'll demonstrate how to write in our planner. And then you take your planner and your take-home folder, and then they'll put it into their mailbox. And then they can sit and talk to their desk friends until morning starts. They also will be the first group that I have throughout the day, so they can already go ahead and get started on their bell ringer as well. And this is something that they can earn down here. If you see it, they can earn a dojo point through this. And dojo points are how I keep track of just the things that they need to be doing on a daily basis. We talk about today's date. So our first day back to school is August 7th of 2026, which is insanity because that's exactly 1 month away from when I'm filming this video. And that didn't hit me until literally just now. But I always make sure to tell them that whatever the date is, it's also hanging on the board. And I think I'm also going to write it, because believe it or not, even though we talk about it, they might not still fully know the day. And our planners, if they are the same planners that we've had, are broken up by the day, and so they have to be able to read the day and find it. And so that they will bring This is what they'll write in their planner. They'll find the date and they'll write, please bring any remaining paperwork to Miss Allman by Monday. So we're switching to online registration this year, so I don't know how that's going to work. But if they do have to bring me any paperwork, which I know I'm sending home some paperwork, that they'll just put it in their take-home folder and they'll bring it back to me on Monday. When we talk about their take-home folder, I actually have a TikTok about my take-home folder, which I will also do a full in-depth on take-home folders, planners, mailbox, all that system, and can put it up here on YouTube as well if you need me to. But basically their take-home folder is just something that comes back with them every single day. It has their name in it. I bought them on Amazon. They are just a basic folder with a clear pocket in the front. They have prongs and they have two pockets on the inside, and I just put like the plastic paper protectors in, and so it has all their basic information that they'll need. On one side it has stay home and the other side has bring back, so they will take anything that needs to stay home. It needs to be emptied every single night. This also has any important information that their parents may need and to help make the year the best year that they can have. If there's any questions, their parents can do that. They also have to sign and bring back their planner every day. If they do this, if they've emptied out their folder and they've brought back their planner signed every single day of the week, they can earn dojo points for that. And I'll actually show you on a future slide about their dojo points and how they can earn dojo. Attendance is another way that they can also earn dojo. So we have a truancy issue at our school, and so that is something that I'm trying to help in my classroom, is incentivizing them to be here every day. I have rewards that I'm going to give every 6 weeks. We are also going to be doing, we haven't done this in the last 3 years that I've taught, and I have regretted it. But we are going to be doing an end of the year rewards, and so we're going to have an attendance award, A and B honor roll award, A honor roll, and I'm actually going to throw my kids who are here the required amount of days. I think they're allowed to miss like 5 or 6 days, and then they are good. They get to go on a Dollywood trip, and they also get to do really fun things. They have something, we do something for an attendance party, and so I'm also going to do that this year, is at the end of the year give them an attendance party, but I'm also going to do it every 6 weeks. I'm going to incentivize my students to be here every 6 weeks, and so attendance is just to make sure your backpack is put in your cubby. This will help me know who is here, because if, say, I forget to take attendance one day, I can literally look up and look in their cubbies and see which backpacks aren't here. And then, yeah. I have these magnetic, like, they're dry erase pencil magnetic strips that I'm going to put on my board this year. And I'm going to have it like lunch from the cafeteria or lunchbox. And so they'll move their magnetic pencil under their lunch option. I will take attendance by saying your name out loud. Only say here for your name and not someone else. This is very important. It drives me nuts when I'm trying to take attendance and I'm hearing, she's not here, they're here, oh my gosh, here, they're here, oh my gosh, here. I'm like, no. Only say you're here if you are here, and do not answer for anyone else. If no one says anything, that's how I know that the person is not here, and that's how we can get through attendance easily. I'm normally very good at taking attendance. Towards the last 4 or 5 weeks of the school year, especially around TCAP time, I get really bad at attendance, just because we're moving so fast and I start class immediately. So this is something that and I'm hoping will help. A lot of these are new things that I'm implementing this year based off of things that I have done in the past that haven't quite worked. Dojo! I love using Dojo in my classroom. It helps me, it helps them to earn Tiger dollars that they get to spend on a treasure box and a Tiger store. So my school does something called Tiger Club, Tiger Tales, Tiger Store, Tiger Dollars. Basically, my students can earn Tiger dollars and specials in the cafeteria from their other teachers, where else, and they can use these. They're like our school's currency. And so what I've learned in the last 3 years of doing this is they easily get stolen. They get misplaced, they lose them. So what I do is that they can take their Tiger dollars that they earn and they can put it into their bank account, which is their dojo account. They can also earn dojo points for me. They can lose dojo points for me. I'm very big because I am in the state of Tennessee. They have now taken away it's a new recess law where we're not allowed to take away recess time. I also I'm trying to get into the headspace of they are children and they need to be played. No, they need to play, and that they need the freedom to play, and so we shouldn't be taking recess time. But they can lose dojo points from doing things that they're not supposed to do. At the end of each week, if they have no missing work and their planner has been signed every single night, they get 10 free minutes of Dojo Island time at the end of our ELA block. And they get to build their own monster. They get to help build our island, and it's a fun thing. I did Fun Friday this year, and I got really, really bad at it because I was incentivizing them with physical prizes rather than technology prizes. And because I'm teaching ELA and we use CKLA, we don't have a lot of time for technology in our classroom, and so this will be a good way to incentivize the use of technology in my room. But if they have any marks at the end of the week, you lose that chance. Remember, good behavior pays off, and we want to be kind and respectful. It's very important to promote good behavior, and my focus this year is to promote good behavior rather than always harping and focusing on the negatives. And again, whenever they get Tiger dollars, they can save them and bring them to me at the end of the week, and I'll add them to their account. And I'm going to tell them, like, yes, you can spend your Tiger dollars. This just tells them how they can spend it. They can use it on my treasure box store, which opens every 6 weeks. They can get toys, a popsicle, a sticker, a homework pass, or even a lunch bunch pass where they watch a Disney movie and we eat in the room together and we hang out. Or they can save them and they will cash them out. Or I will cash them out to them before Tiger Store on Tiger Celebration days. And this is how they can earn them. I took so long to try to figure out how I was going to incentivize things rather than just giving them good job, good work, following directions, staying quiet. I wanted to incentivize things. Mailing call for Mrs. Call Campers uses this one, being a leader and not a boss, and I love that. Leaders show by example, and bosses just tell you what to do, and so that's what I'm going to do. All work done throughout the week, every day gets you 1 point a day. Attendance is 1 point a day. Being a leader and not a boss is 3 points because it's really important that we lead by example and we don't just tell people, we show them. Cafeteria champ is if you're just helping in the cafeteria, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Great. Clean duck, that is just keeping your area tidy, keeping yourself tidy, making sure that you're following clean habits. Following directions the first time. Growth mindset is how I'm building my classroom this year, is if I witness a child actually using growth mindset, where instead of them just saying, I can't do that, they frame it as, I can't do it yet, but I will be able to one day. Hallway compliment. So I have these sheets that I'm going to hang up across my windows that say compliment, and I'm going to flip them around, and every time they get a compliment as a class, I'm going to flip them but we'll talk about that later on. Litter bug is just helping pick up trash when they see it. I send a lot of permission slips home throughout the year, so it's very nice to just get those back on time when I need them, and so if they do bring them back, they get a dojo point. Reading Rockstar is if they've read every night in the week and have taken at least one AR test a week. We do STAR testing, which is AR. I'm a big fan of it to a degree, but that's a later topic. Again, signed planner all week. Spelling master is if they just master their spelling for the week. Strong choices, tidy cubby. We're doing student highlights, so I will get to choose a student that I think is excelling. My partner teacher will, our whole grade level will, and special areas will also get to. So if they become the specials student of the month, they will get 5 dojo points. Using kind words, if they have to turn in one Tiger dollar to me, and if they have to turn in in groups of 5. This just helps me. Like, I know one kid who saved last year all of her Tiger dollars for the entire 6 weeks and never turned them in. And so right like a week before we would cash them out, she would turn in like 78. And so instead of doing this 5 billion times, I have this option. And tidy desk is just keeping your workspace clean, so that others can use it as well. Again, they can lose dojo points. Fighting and bullying. This was a big thing in my last school year, was that the kids, I don't even know what was supposed to go here now that I'm looking at it, but it's fine. Fighting or bullying. I had a lot of kids that were constantly arguing, constantly fighting, constantly tattletaling on each other, and just always fighting about something. And that drove me up a wall. An untidy area drives me nuts. Untidy cubby is disgusting. I had a kid one year who just left food inside of her desk constantly, and food in her cubby and all the things, and we ended up getting bugs because she would like hide it behind her books and stuff, so I wasn't able to see it. That's another reason why we're doing tables this year. Being unprepared for class. You need to bring everything that you're supposed to have with you to class, to and from class. It's very important that they do this, because then it saves us time and they're not having to go interrupt another class to go get something that they forgot. So if you're unprepared for class, you're taking points away because you're taking time away. Using unkind words. We are not bullies. We are kind. We are respectful. Trash bug. Leaving trash where it shouldn't be. If you're wasting time and not doing what you're supposed to do. I hate tattletaling. I hate tattletaling. Specials mark. You get a mark in specials. Sleeping in class, unless there's an absolute reason. I know some of my kids, and I know my kids well, so I understand if they're just sleeping in class because they just decided to stay up and play Fortnite, or they're sleeping in class because they didn't have somewhere to stay. I can tell the difference, and I know the difference because I get to know my students very well. Not following directions. I had a kid this year who never wore gym shoes ever, and he almost got kicked out of field day because of it. So if you don't wear your gym shoes, I'm taking your dojo points, because you need to wear tennis shoes for gym, because we fail as a class and we grow as a class. And if not everybody's prepared, we can't grow as a class. If you're missing work, if you were wasting time, if you were sleeping, if you were doing things that you were not supposed to be doing and you did not finish your work for the day, I'm taking a mark, because I have to do my work, you have to do your work, and I think it's reasonable to expect them to get their work done and to use the time that they have wisely. I hate being lied to. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, especially when I can see you actively doing something and then you tell me you weren't doing it. Dishonesty is a -5. That and an untidy cubby and cheating are my 3. Oh, fighting and bullying. I have 5. Cuss words are another thing. I don't deal with it. Don't know. If you're allowed to cuss at home, great. I'm very big on the words are just words. You give them the meaning. But we can't do that in class. If they have to clip down, because I am doing a clip down chart this year, let's see if that'll work. If they ended up having to clip down to mark, they lose 2 points. Cheating, automatic 5 points away, plus an automatic office referral, because I need to know what you know, not what your partner knows. They get a mark in the cafeteria, and being a boss, not a leader, telling people what to do rather than showing them. I am the teacher in the classroom. I can tell people how to do something. I can also model it. I don't need an extra teacher in the room. Hallway is a big thing. Miss Almond, what should our hallway look and sound like? You can earn dojo points this way. You line up behind the line leader. They get to apply to be the line leader at a certain point in time, but they have to prove that they are responsible. And my goal is 1 every semester, so that's 2 a year, because they also have to be in charge of my backpack and they also have to be in charge of my clipboard, so it has to be someone who is responsible. Their voices are off, and then I'll ask them why they think that is, and it's because other people are learning. We have classes that are happening, learning is happening. We want people to be supportive of our learning. We need to be supportive of theirs. We walk one behind the other. We're not running, we're not skipping, we're not jumping unless, again, the special circumstances, an IEP, whatever, I understand that part. But they walk one behind the other on that first white square with our voices off. We're not running our hands along the wall. We're not touching others or purposely stepping on their feet. I don't like gaps in our lines. One of my things that my principal is very big on is how we walk in the hallway. And that's something that she tells us all the time is we are walking, first white square, voices off, no gaps in our lines. Our goal is to get from point A to point B in a quick and timely and quiet manner, and we're always aiming for that hallway compliment. Once a compliment is completely turned over, my kids will get a prize. Those are those letters that I have, and I'll just flip them around as the year goes on, and if they get the full compliment, they get a prize. Lining up is the same way. I'll call the line leader to line up first. They'll grab a backpack. We'll line up up 2 squares in front of the cubbies in a straight line. We line up quick, quiet. Every time I have to ask them to line up quietly, it's a lap that they owe me around the playground at recess. They can walk or run that to get it over with as quick as possible. During lunchtime, lunchbox kiddos will line up first behind the line leader. Then the ones eating in the cafeteria will line up. They gently push in their chairs. We don't run to get in line. I'll ask them why, because someone could get hurt. We would have to redo it. They would owe me laps on the playground, all those types of things. And remember, I'm always looking for leaders in the room. This is a great time to be a leader. We show others how nice and quiet we can be in line. We do not tell them how to line up. We show them by being an example. We talk about the bathroom. So this is around the time when we would take a bathroom break. We line up in number order quietly. We walk to the bathroom on the first white square. We do not talk or play in the hallway because we have to be respectful of the classes trying to learn. We go into the bathroom 3 at a time after the boy-girl bathroom monitors say we can go in. We don't play in the bathroom. We use the bathroom. We go in, do our business, and we come out, wash our hands, line up. And we wash our hands with warm water for 20 seconds. One thing I didn't add into this is that I actually timed them. I give them about 2... at the beginning, I give them about 3 minutes. And as it goes on, our goal is to get down to about 2 minutes at the bathroom. I'm doing something every day that's called our daily affirmation. And it's just, I might make mistakes. And that is okay because I can do hard things. I know I can come back tomorrow because every day is a fresh start. But the expectations stay the same. Our counselor is incredible. We have an incredible guidance counselor. She does something called Spot the Emotion, and it's just how do you feel? Spot it, name it, say it. I feel blank when blank. And so we're going to talk about this. These 2 things are our daily things that we'll do every single day. And then we're going to talk about my attention getters. I have the classroom doorbell. If they hear it ring, they put their finger over their mouth. And they show the people at their table that they need to be quiet rather than telling them to be quiet. I also have if you hear me say, A, Miss Almond, let's learn. Okay, let's learn. I say what's in black, they say what's in blue. And this is just how we get our day started. A mailing call for Mrs. Calls Campers does this one, and I love this one. I was going to implement it last year, never did, but I'm going to this year, and it's talk about it. I got you. And that way they know that they need to be talking to each other. My cubby rules. This is how it should look. At the end of the day, I will look at our cubbies to make sure it's tidy and ready for the next day. We want a clean and respectable environment that helps us learn. A clean cubby looks like a zipped backpack. No trash, no papers left behind, ready to be used the next day. They can earn a dojo point from this. They have shared supply bags, so I have 18 of them. If I need to make more, I can always make more. But they have everything that they need to survive and thrive in class. So they don't have to bring anything except, honestly, probably just themselves to class. I will have to talk to my partner teacher, but for me, all they need is their Chromebooks, possibly, and that's probably about it. And their planners. They'll need to bring their planners with them. In my class, you have everything you need to survive and thrive in class, including supply Bags, yes, you and your desk buddy. I need to change this to your table buddy. So they'll each get a number 1 through 18 or more if I have more, in block 1 and block 2. And they will share a bag, and it has everything that they need. So it has 2 mechanical pencils. It has 2 cap erasers. It has a box of pencils. It has a glue stick. It has a pack of crayons. It has a highlighter and an expo marker. Did I say scissors? It also has scissors. And then their partner teacher. Those don't move with them to my partner teacher. Those stay in my room. I got to change this one, but it's basically going to be the same. Actually, this one's going to completely go away because table rules will be different. So I'm not going to even talk about that one. And then we're going to get to our bell ringer. Bell ringers typically at the beginning, but we are doing it here after our bathroom breaks because that's basically all of my procedures talked about and done that I want to talk about on the first day of school. But we talk about more just in context to learning. So we do this all about me. They get to draw whatever they want. They create a hashtag for themselves, and they color this and then draw a self-portrait about themselves. And then on the back, so it's going to be, I'm going to print this 2-sided. What are your goals for this year? And they'll write me about 2 to 3 sentences about what their goals are for the year. And then we're going to read our class as a family, and we're going to brainstorm a minute and give me a thumbs up when you know what do you think a class family should look like. And then we're going to talk about a family we're going to read the story, and then we're going to create a family pact. Our family pact is an agreed upon set of rules and expectations everyone, including Miss Almond, must follow. We are together for the year, and the room must be a safe place for all. Then we're going to talk about logical consequences. So we create our pact. We all sign it at the bottom. We all create it, and we say these are the rules and the expectations that we all think we should follow. And then we are going to talk about logical consequences. Logical consequences are the things I can expect to happen if I do something. I'm very big on reminding kids that consequences can be both negative and positive. If you do something you're not supposed to do, the logical, obvious consequence is a negative outcome. A punishment of some sort. However, if we do something positive, we can expect something positive to happen, a reward of some sort. And then we're going to talk about Recess Queen. We're going to actually listen to her read aloud. I don't know if I'm going to pull it up, but I do have a link here. It's like Miss Ani's house or something. She reads the story. But while they listen to the story, think about some different things that I as a teacher would expect from you on the playground. How should we act and treat each other? How do we treat the playground equipment? Remember, the kindness you show others will reflect during playtime just as much as in the classroom. But yeah, I would just click on that and it will take me to the read aloud. And then we're going to do 3 different activities with the Recess Queen. I got this off TPT. I will link her below. But it's JK Elementary, and it's just her Recess Queen pack. And so we're going to sequence the story. So there's a cut and glue part of it. And then we're going to cut and glue what we think are kind actions and what are not kind actions. And then we're going to describe in our own words what we think a Recess Queen would be and a Recess Friend would be. Recess Queen, of course, being mean. A Recess Friend being a nice person. And then we're going to do Piper Growth Mindset. So we're going to watch the Disney short Pixar film Piper, and we're going to talk about growth mindset. Growth mindset. Think about what you think it means. Do you think Piper had a growth mindset? And remember, growth mindset is telling yourself that just because something is hard now or I can't do it right now doesn't mean I never will. I have to keep trying to keep working on it. Skills take time. And this is actually the end of my slideshow that I've created so far. I'm hoping that this will be enough to get through the day. I am going to add a couple of extra things that we will do. I'm probably going to read a letter from your teacher right before pack up and dismissal. We're going to spend some time getting to know each other. I really want to do a this or that, so I might add that on here. The 4 corners, this or that. So I'm going to do a this or that activity as well. We're going to read a letter from your teacher, and then I'm really going to focus on how my kids get home, and we're going to talk about packing up and the procedures. We're going to practice lining up to switch, but we're not actually going to switch. It's just something that I can get them practicing and ready to go, because believe it or not, switching is insanity, and the kids don't understand. Even throughout the year, they forget how to do it. But this is just a basic what I do. If you find this helpful, I created this whole thing on Canva. So all of this is on Canva. So if you like it, thank you so much. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe so that you can be notified for all of my future videos.